Alright, so yeah, now just remember the four. So starts off the chord change, then you're gonna go into the A minor, remember all your little start up, show me the scale again from the A. Just so I can alright, now go down from where you're going. You're going down all those. There you go, right. So A minor, A blues. Okay, so and then remember all the little bends that you were doing. Okay. Wanna try it again?
Alright.
Alright, so we got that, and then you're gonna go back into the ostinato thingies down there. Alright. I think you'll be good.
Alright.
Alright. Boom. Byrkit. Been teaching at Mozingo off and on for, a good 10 or 11 years. This is Barry King. Say hi, Barry.
Hello.
What we played was a tune of Barry's, actually, that he kind of did for a talent show. One of the things that I like to teach, as far as not just guitar scales and guitar chords and things like that, but actually the theory of understanding what he's actually doing. So the first thing that he did is he came up with kind of chord progression, and it's all based around the key of A minor. So the main chord progression of the piece starts on A. Yes, so A is the 1, and then C is going to be 3. So if we're on A and we go to G, which is the 3rd chord of the chord progression, what is G? Play your A minor scale, and tell me where's G in that scale. So think about it. So A, B, C, D, 7, 7. Right. So G is going to be 7. So we go 1, 3, 7, and then F, which is the next chord, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's F? A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
That would be the 8th. Or the 6th.
6, right. Yeah. So 1, 3, 7, 6, A minor. So we can do that, understanding what the chords are, that it fits perfectly within an A minor progression. We can solo over an A minor or an A minor blues, is what most of the solo, the improvised solo, is going to be built off of. And then there's the other thing that we do as far as the chords that he did. He came in, brought me, when I this is before the talent show, brought me the that first chord progression, and then he brought me the other thing, which was the play that. Which is kind of this little ostinato pattern that's built off of some repeating notes, but the root note of the beat one of every one of those follows a certain chord. So what I did is I made him, and it's been a while, so not sure how much when you remember when we first worked on this, but we figured out that the first chord from there was an A, because the first part of the thing is going off of this A minor, and then the second measure, a beat one of the second measure, is what note?
Wait.
So play the progression, the riff again. So one starts on A, and then we play the riff, and then the second measure starts with what? G, right? So G is the chord that's going to follow. We're going to follow the arpeggio down, and then the next beat one of the next measure is F. So that's where the F chord comes from, and then E. Right. So it just follows from this, unbeknownst to him when he first put it together. He's basically following the other chord progression of the piece, which starts on A, which is in A minor, is
the first.
Right, or the one. Then G was
the third.
Go the other way.
The seventh.
Seventh, and then F was the
sixth,
and then E would be the
third. Wait, what?
A is 1, 7, 6, 5. Then we go down to the 5. So we're just from that chord, from the pattern. Then I helped him write in the chords. Right, from that. So that's where the second chord progression of the piece comes from. The first thing, which was the first chord progression he gave me, and then he just had the little line of the second one. So by learning and kind of going over the theory of it, we go through and we can figure out and write what chords and what we can do as far as soloing and putting other parts on top of this little piece that he came up with. So one of the ways that I try to not only just teach scales and chords, but actually put the theory behind it into practice. And with someone like Barry, who comes up with stuff and writes stuff all the time, but doesn't always necessarily understand what he's coming up with. The idea is to make him, learn the theory and understand where it is where we're actually coming from, and put together something that we can actually play on and jam together, and that he can take to the talent show, or with other guys that he plays with too, and put that piece together. Which the talent show was a success. Yes.
Apparently, we were the best people, so I think so.
There you go. So hopefully a little bit of theory and a little bit of guitar knowledge to help propel them to the best in show at the talent show. So.